And next up, it will be an overview of the investment services that are available in the Latvian markets and the comparison of Latvian customer investment experience with international trends. So, to introduce the next keynote on the topic of investment opportunities in securities market and how Latvians are taking advantage of them. So I'm inviting virtually to the stage Jānis Bebris from Luminor and his keynote presentation. Welcome, Jānis.
So hello once again. So I want to present the investment opportunities in the security market in Latvia and how Latvians are using that. So to start up, maybe I would why we chose this panel is that we actually believe that in this early age, smart, discipline, and regular investments are the best way to secure your future and also build your long-term wealth and reach your targets and goals. And so we were curious what actually Latvians have, what are their investment habits, what is available on the market, and actually then later during the presentation, we also checked what actually they are buying on the market. So from the assets that are available during our analysis, then actually we discovered that on the market you can buy any assets that are traded in other countries. So basically, we have the stocks, bonds, cash, real estates, or even derivatives or other investment opportunities. So Latvians are as well covered as any other country in the world. Maybe the services is not yet developed to the standards of the US, but the margin between us is quite narrow. What is lacking is that we are still, I think, concentrated on the cash as a part of the investments. Our strategy would be that cash is definitely a part of our long-term investment goals. We have to have the cushion, which we can turn to in case of some unexpected expenses. But cash also in this rather low interest rate environment, we don't see as a long-term investment goal where you can like place deposits or just safeguard the cash in the saving accounts or current accounts. What is also preferable option for Latvians, at least when you ask the investors where they would like to invest, they quite often say that real estate is actually a very good investment opportunity. So I personally don't argue. This is a quite also good investment opportunity where you can earn and grow your capital, but this is not so in many cases. In many cases, we are buying real estate not as an investment object, but rather as a part of your like this household where you live, not where you earn the cash. And this, if you would need that investment to rebalance or maybe to sell to for some of your needs, that would be quite hard. So let's jump to the next slide, and then we started to dig deeper. What are the actual investment habits in Latvia and also in other Baltic countries, and what are the household this asset composure if you compare our states to the UA averages? And what we discovered that actually those investment habits are very poorly developed in the Baltic countries, and especially in Latvia. So if the UA average is around 15%, then in Latvia, we see that this is only 2.5%. So we are far away from UA averages, and this investments are not part of our budgeting. That there is different reasons that I also will present a bit later. But what is where we save and where we see that opportunity, at least in Baltic countries, we rather save also in the non-publicly traded instruments where we are the owners. So we have this strong historical background to support some investments where you control all the business chain, where you are not just one of the investors. That's maybe also hold back a bit this investment habits. There is also what we noticed that we prefer this bundled or pre-created vehicles like pensions or insurance products rather than we do the self-investment. Also from maybe long-term saving goals, this is not that bad. So pension should be the first thing we have to take care about, but also self-investment would help us to reach some intermediary goals. Like we had the recent study that quite a lot of our customers or people can't afford to take mortgages because they don't have the first down payment. So this could be a very good goal for the investments. So you to create your investment strategy so that you can. One of the goal would be to have this mortgage down payment. And what are then the market growth perspective? Then what we see during the COVID and pandemic time is that actually the self-directed investments are increasing. So it's around 20% year on year, and and also the most recent data show that these self-directed investments are increasing. So we have more free time at home. We can search. We can do some social networking, where also this investment ideas are discussed. So we are becoming more active, but still we see that there is a quite a big gap where we can grow. So if we would move our current deposit savings to the investments, and I think it's also quite important that this younger generation gain knowledge about the investments and also include that in their like a budget planning. We also there's discovered a good survey from Blackrock about why then people are not investing, and quite a lot of these things are also relevant for our area. So like 54% of these non-investors say that they don't have enough money to start investing. This is quite often we hear that also from people around, and also while I'm social networking with my friends. So, but I always say that this shouldn't be excuse to start saving, because basically you work, and then if you don't save, so you don't leave anything for yourself. You pay the bills, you pay to have a food, and that's it. There is nothing for you and for your future well-being. So I think it's to pay yourself first. This philosophy should also be adopted, especially like in Latvian younger generation. So there is also a quite big proportion of people that are worried more about this financial situation today rather than think about the future. And this is, I think, also somehow wrongly interpreted, because if you would think about your long-term goals and would save and invest, then these short-term turbulences would also decrease, because you will have first you will build your some black day savings, then you would go for longer investments, and once that would start to roll, then you would also be more confident in your this day-to-day financial situation. Then, like we see, 64% of non-investors find information about investment difficult to understand. This we see that in the younger generation they are more curious and more keen to learn. So and especially do some research on some of the companies they prefer. So I think like this gain of knowledge about the investment will also help a lot to promote self-directed investments. So also that's why we want to speak out and educate our society. And then there's other keynotes like that 76% of investors that use financial advisors report have a positive sense of well-being. So this is also, maybe we are not yet ready to ask for the help, but this is there's nothing to be like ashamed of, or be curious and try to search for different ways how to save and grow your investments and savings. And we also prepared what are the overall European market trends. So what we see is that that actually currently average customer is overwhelmed by the share of complexity of the information provided to him. This is partially due to the regulation which all the financial advisors have to provide to their customers. So we also have to learn to provide information in easier way. So this is mainly for the advisors part. Then the other trend we see is that in the Europe, that the younger generation self-directed investments are increasing. So, and this is actually we see that due to two main reasons. One is this social networking, where also financial ideas are discussed, or investment ideas, and also this fintech presence in the market, where the different robo advisors are now available, and which could either like professionals could guide people, or you can adopt this copy trading, where you can see also either it's professional or unprofessional that have good ideas, and you can copy that. So if to talk more about Latvia in particular and our experience, then we have the two major groups where customers invest. It's on the security markets. One is stocks. Stocks are still #1 choice for self-directed investors. So they prefer this company ownership, and that's also the part that is increasing. What we also see that ETFs are most demanded instruments among new retail investors. So the ones that are coming just into the market, they are using this instrument to invest. This is like a very good pattern, because basically by buying different ETFs, it is quite easy to create well-diversified portfolio. As well as you are kind of well protected for if some market downtrends would happen. And the flow mainly, I would say, coming from the new cash that are coming to investments, also mutual funds that were historically a primary choice for the new retail investors. Now they are still preferred for some initial savers, but not the share is decreasing, and the amounts are I would say fairly stable if we compare to other classes. And then for the bonds, this is rather decreasing part of the investment, so not a lot of interest in that part of the security types. Then we wanted to share also what are the most popular stocks. So we want to share that Latvian customers also prefer these either big tech or some world front runners, but it was actually quite interesting what we discovered, that during 2021 the most of this investments went into the Alibaba group. So it's a bit of change of trend if we compare to 2020, where big tech and pharmaceuticals were in the focus. Other thing that's also quite common nowadays is the energy sector, especially in current year. So this is understandable because of the focus and the movements in the commodity prices. There is still part of this big tech like Apple and Tesla. Those are always in focus of Latvian customers as well. Some key trends. Then what we saw that the 32%, that is by how much investments into ETFs rose during the 2021 in Latvia. Also, what I mentioned before, Alibaba Group, so it's almost 4.3 times customer increase their investments into that business. And also what I mentioned, we are seeing strong demand in energy sector exposures, and what is because surprisingly that healthcare is out of the focus. Maybe we bit moved out of this pandemic mood, and now we are more looking for some other investment opportunities, and now this concentration is also decreasing. So we are investing quite in diversified strategies. And for the if we look at the markets, then there is no change during the 2021. We still prefer US, Germany, and the Scandinavian market, and the most prominent from that, Sweden. To sum up the presentation, it is very easy to begin to invest. So First, I encourage everybody to understand their long-term goals. Start to pay yourself a salary. Don't pay just for others. And once you start to do that, invest your salary. With that, I want to close my presentation on investments and Latvian preferred investment opportunities on the markets.